Hello and welcome to the first episode of TrekHammer, the show where we talk about new episodes of Star Trek amongst other things. Today we're talking about episode 1 of season 2 of Star Trek Strange New Worlds. And I have to say, I went into this very, very hopeful. I hoped it was going to be really good, like most of season 1 had been. And yeah, it was really good. I'm very, very happy with the overall feel of it. There are some, shall we say, less than stellar ideas in it. And one of them is a part of it, I'm trying not to spoil too much, but there's a part during an escape sequence where the camera just decides to go upside down. Pan up, pan down, and go back the right way up. I'm sorry, but I understand the idea was suggesting that perhaps the ship was starting to power up and things were changing, but all it did, from my point of view, was completely take me out of the scene, out of the show. I was getting really invested, it was very interesting, but all of a sudden I'm not looking at what's going on screen and being invested in the show. I'm looking at what happened on screen and thinking, why on earth would they do that? Completely out of the scene. It pulled me out, and then the story just turned back into a show I'm watching rather than a thing I'm invested in. So that was a really bad decision. But what was a really good decision to counteract that was going back to the proper Klingons. It's great to see proper Klingons back. And I don't just mean a visual thing where they actually have the old style film and TNG and all of that look. No. I can get over a visual redesign, that's fine. I didn't like it. I didn't like it in Discovery when the Klingons looked like orcs. I didn't like it in the Kelvin timeline Star Trek where the Klingons looked like orcs with lots of rings in their heads. But they did look alien. They looked very alien, and that was fine. Klingons are aliens. So that was alright by me. What I didn't like was that they changed them in those shows, the Discovery and the Star Trek Beyond and all that. Not Beyond. Star Trek Into Darkness. There weren't Klingons in Beyond. It was Star Trek Into Darkness that really messed up the Klingons. I didn't mind the visual thing. What happened there was they turned them into unreasonable, violent, and really alien creatures, which is not what Klingons were. In the original series, Klingons were very much like humans, only very sneaky, very manipulative, and always had a plan within a plan within a plan. They were a proper foe. They were the kind of person that you could try and outsmart. But in Discovery and in Star Trek Into Darkness, they were more like a violent, aggressive orc. In this, they've gone back to being the kind of sneaky, manipulative, we've got plans and you don't know what they are, haha, kind of baddie that you have to outthink as well as outfight. That's what I like about Klingons. That's what I mean about going back to proper Klingons. It's nice that they've got the TNG design back. Well, it's actually say TNG. It's actually the original series films design of the Klingons with the big foreheads. But what I really want is the personalities back. They're the Klingons that in peacetime you can have a drink with, but you don't want to meet in the battlefield. That kind of person. And that's back. That is good. That is proper Klingons. So it's nice for that. It fits far better into continuity for a start, but it's good to see it back. It was a bit weird when the Ghost of Christmas Present turned off. Let's put it that way. If you've seen Scrooged, and who hasn't seen Scrooged, then you know what I'm on about. There is a certain actress, and she's really good at being an actress, but she always sounds like the Ghost of Christmas Present from Scrooged. And she's there. There seems to be the new chief engineer. I'm not sure if she is or not. Certainly isn't official, but she's there, and it's interesting. I still don't like the character of Una. She's very, very robotic, which, yes, that's kind of what was in the cage. But I need more than that to actually gel with a character. I still don't like Klan Noonien Singh. So, I'm sorry, but Lieutenant Grumpy Pants is just not an appealing character. The actress is doing a perfectly good job. She's very good at her job. I just don't, again, I don't like the way they've written the character, so it's hard to gel with. Nurse Chapel is still not Nurse Chapel. I'm sorry, guys, but I understand that you want to kick-ass, badass character on the screen, but that's not what Nurse Chapel is. You've done a very good job doing young Uhura. Why couldn't you do a good job with young Chapel? I'm sorry, but there's something there that's weird. I probably would have taken that badass kick-ass character and maybe put that characterization onto one of the two women on the bridge that don't really do anything apart from make some snappy remarks every now and again at whoever's in the captain's chair. So there are still issues. By the way, I still don't know what one of them's called. This is the Discovery problem again. Star Trek Discovery had a major issue, and still does. I'm hoping that they're going to do it for the final series, actually give us some meat to some of these characters, where you've got your core group, and that's very nice, and then the other ones are just there. It took me a couple of seasons to find out what some of them were called. That's not good writing for a Star Trek show. I know it's about Michael Burnham and whoever she's happening to glow onto that month, but that's not Star Trek. Star Trek is an ensemble cast, always has been, and as a result of that, we want to know who these characters are, and it's not giving it to us, and it's very frustrating. There's a little bit of that on Discovery. I know that they have names. Hernandez has got a kind of characterization. The other woman that I can never remember the name of, I think her name was mentioned in like one episode, maybe two. I still don't know who she is or what she does, apart from make snappy remarks on the bridge every now and again. Could you not have given the kick-ass characterization from Chapel and put it onto one of those two? That would have been nice. But no. So let's just hope that with this season being the same as the previous one, where it's all standalone episodes, perhaps we can get an episode where we find out what these characters are about. That would be nice. But aside from that, the main plot, great. Absolutely wonderful. Loved it. Good use of the Klingons. Good use of Spock as a developing character. Very nice, and really enjoyed it. A few little issues still there, but overall, I would definitely give it 7 phases out of 10, maybe even 8. Yeah, let's go with 8 phases out of 10. Okay, there you go. A quick discussion of the show. I'm trying to keep these short and to the point. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you next week for another TrekHammer, and until then, live long and prosper. If you like the show, please consider supporting me on Patreon. It really does help create future videos. That's patreon.com/Zoe Kirk Robinson. And I've got an extra special thanks going out to Chief89, Sam Yates, Retro Mickey 82, Mo Henry, and George Bortorini. Thank you so much, guys.